Good evening, Rockdale County residents and fellow residents of surrounding area and possibly out of state because I have friends in the in West Virginia who tune into the show from time to time, and I am glad to have everyone watching tonight. That is, I'm going to say hi to a few people who have actually chimed in and decided to say hello to the show. So, Kathy Robinson, good evening, and thanks for saying hello. Laura Skelton, good evening, Laura, and hello. Clayton Orwig, my parents wrote me, I'll excuse Clayton, you are excused since your parents wrote you a note. William Campbell, thanks. Justin Kinney, hey, glad to see you today. Justin and Mary Boysworth. Mary came out and visited me a little bit yesterday at West Avenue while I was out there waving the big Vote No Splosh sign. So, and she held the sign for a little while and got her time in there campaigning. So, thanks, Mary, for that. And Laura, just to let you know, those magnets did come in. So, if I'll be out there between 10 and 12 tomorrow, and then again probably at 3 o'clock. So, if you want to come out and get those magnets tomorrow, you can. Like I said, I'll be out there between 10 and 2. I mean, between 10 and 12, and then back out at 3 o'clock. So just let me know if you want to come do that, and those magnets they'll be with me, and I'll give them to you, and you can style around Rockdale County with the Vote No Splosh magnets on the side of your vehicle, and be a brave individual by doing that. So I would put them on mine, but my truck is not metallic, and the magnets will not they won't hold to the truck. So one of the downsides of having a not real metal truck. Laura said you'll be there after 3, so thanks, Laura. I'll see you then. Also, guys, just to let you know, let's see here. Just making sure I'm scrolling down. Everybody said hello to everybody who has said anything. Yep, and everybody who has said if you've not said hello, say hello. We'll recognize you for being here. A lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people don't like to be recognized, and they don't want people to know they watch the show live. They like to go watch the rerun so that people don't know. But that's, hey, why not, say you're a fan of This Week from Rockdale and come out, just come out and say, I like the show. It's fun. It's exciting. Never know what that guy's going to say. Tommy Lee, welcome to the show. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on, brother. Just want to talk to you guys a little bit tonight, with the midweek report. We just come on and tell a little bit of things, the briefing that's going on. Well, the big thing I want to brief you about is the Splosh investigation. That's right, the Splosh investigation. So the Splosh campaign is now being investigated by the Secretary of State's office for violating campaign laws and campaign ethics violations. So, like I have stated in the past, that if you are going to campaign for a non-ballot issue, it is required by state law that you do committee paperwork, that you file paperwork, that you are a committee, that you will be campaigning for or against a non-candidate issue. So the Splosh is a non-candidate ballot issue that requires anyone that is going to participate in a campaign and form a committee or do a campaign that they file this paperwork. The Rockdale Voter, right from the get-go, we filed the paperwork, everything we had to, filed it with the proper entity, which is the local elections board. Then we raised and spent over the $500 amount that if you do that, you are then required by Georgia election law to file financial disclosures, which the Rockdale Voter did. We filed those 15 days before the general election as law required. We do know that the investigator with the Secretary of State's office, Mr. Doherty, he'd reached out to the Board of Elections. The Board of Elections informed him that as far as any ballot issues, there was one committee that was legal that was putting signs out and running a campaign, and that was the Rockdale Voter. She provided them with the Rockdale Voters documentation, which allows us to run the campaign. She provided him with a copy of our financial disclosure, which showed him that we did file our paperwork as required once we had met the $500 threshold or more. She did inform him that she was aware that there was a vote no movement, that there were signs and other things going on, and that no one had filed paperwork with her and no one had filed a financial disclosure with her. So we do know that that has happened. I myself spoke in detail with the investigator Monday, gave him additional information as to who purchased the sign, where the signs were purchased from. I do know that the investigator has reached out to the business that the signs were purchased from. That individual is cooperating with the state because, hey, why wouldn't you cooperate with an investigator from the state of Georgia Secretary of State's office? So that individual, that business is, they've got nothing to hide. They were approached about making and selling some signs, and they did it. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that at all. They did what they needed to do. They acquired some business, made some signs, sold some signs, and it was up to those who actually purchased the signs to actually do the right thing and file the right paperwork and follow the law when they were going to head up this campaign. So, and I also informed the investigator that he could go look at several recordings of the Board of Commission and such and see some illegal campaigning that has been going on for the SPLOST, which is against Georgia election law regarding public officials that have introduced a SPLOST being not able to actually, once it's introduced, not able to campaign in a positive or negative manner for that proposal. So that is also being looked into. So we can look at in the future that some people will face some consequences for their actions, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I don't think it'll happen before the end of this year, but I'm fine with that, because what will happen is most likely they will bring this to the local prosecutor. Local prosecutor decides not to do anything about it. They will take it to the attorney general. Well, do nothing Chris Carr would actually do nothing with it. But I got a feeling that Mr. John Gordon is going to be elected as the next attorney general of the state of Georgia. And let me tell you something. Mr. John Gordon is not do nothing John Gordon. When John Gordon is attorney general and those things come to him, John Gordon has stated publicly that he will prosecute all election law violations. So you guys that have violated this law, hey, it takes a little while for these investigations to go through, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because do nothing Chris Carr will be out of office by the time the Secretary of State's office presents this to anybody, and you're going to face Mr. John Gordon as Attorney General of the state of Georgia. And the days of doing nothing to election fraud and election violators is over. John Gordon will prosecute those individuals to the fullest extent of the law and his capabilities. So just letting you know, guys, nothing might not happen immediately with this, but you know what? All we need is a little bit of time and the right man in that attorney general's office, and there'll be some things happen. So I'm just letting you know that I've got some confidence in that, and I'm excited about that. And I do want to just tell you a little bit. We're going to stick on SPLOST a little bit. I'm going to share something with you here, guys. So I'm going to go small and put this news article on here. And this is a news article from the Rockdale Citizen. Conyers Rockdale SPLOST referendum will be on the May ballot. And it is, they talk about the voters in Rockdale and Newton counties will head to the polls Tuesday to cast ballots in the number of elections. Rockdale County will continue to, voters asked to continue to collect a 1% special purpose local option sales tax to fund a number of capital projects. Now, they say capital projects, but there are no projects listed. It is categories. The complete project allegation list for the city and county are as follows. And we need to have a conversation with the citizen, because the county has several times stated they do not have projects, that they have categories. I will be reaching out to Alice Queen tomorrow and asking her to correct this article. I will actually also be reaching out to Alice Queen and saying, why you've not reached out to the no camp to do an article for the no committee. I think that the Rockdale citizens should offer equal time to the no committee also. Give the no people a voice in this also. Just going to be critical of the citizen here. They do a piss poor job of investigating anything that goes on in this county, and do these little fluff pieces like this for the county to help them be part of their propaganda machine. That's not what we need in Rockdale County. We need the truth in Rockdale County, and not a propaganda rag. So I'm not happy about this, because why should I be happy when the only news source we have in Rockdale County pulls this kind of lame nonsense thing a week before the election, and in their article make it appear that there were projects listed, and these projects or what there are no projects listed in the SPLOST. Members of the SPLOST committee that are being honest with you will tell you there are no projects listed in this SPLOST. It is totally ridiculous what these individuals will stoop to. These guys have from the beginning to the end, this SPLOST has been corrupt. It was introduced illegally. It has been campaigned for illegally. The monies, and if it is implemented, it will continue to be done illegally. It's time that we stand and make a difference. Vote no to this SPLOST so that we can reset this SPLOST. Also want to let you know, I want to thank you guys, because of you, the commercial that Alex McDonald and I cut and has been playing, and I've talked to several people in the community, and they've been using that commercial to actually educate people when they're talking to them about the SPLOST and why not to vote for it. They've been using that video and playing it and say, this can tell you better than I can what's going on and why you shouldn't vote for that. So we've got people in this community that are using that video as an educational tool and saying, this is why you should not vote for this. So I want to thank you all for what you're doing as far as sharing that, using it as an educational tool. We've got 4,600 views as of today, right now. 4,600 views. And I told you guys that my goal was to hit 5,000 views. I mean, I had raised it from, initially I thought 4,000 would be a great number. But then when I saw what we were doing, I said, I want to hit 5,000. We're at 4,600 views right now. Would love to have 5,000 or plus views by election day. We get that, and and that'll just be something fantastic, because it'll be something that has helped the community be aware and know what this is. Just to let you know, I have had numerous phone calls over the past 5 or 6 days, and usually when you're the chairman of one of the parties in the county, the last week and a half of election, you do get a lot of phone calls, people asking your opinion about different things. And People have asked my opinion about different voting things, but there is one thing consistent. Not one single person who's called me has questioned about, they actually have asked a few questions about the SPLOST, but they've all told me they were intending on voting against it before they even asked me the questions for some clarification, and they just didn't feel comfortable voting for it. The number one reason that I'm getting that people tell me they don't feel comfortable voting for it is they don't trust the county commission to spend the money properly. You heard right here that they don't feel comfortable that the county commission is going to spend the money properly. And then when they find out about it not being introduced properly, with there need being no specific projects, that there's no true budget to go by, no true timelines, they really double down and say, we knew that our gut was right. And then they start talking about that this with all the tax increases, their property tax increases, with inflation, gas prices, food prices, shortages of goods and materials on the store things. They talk, and I'll tell you something they also talk about. They're talking big time about the Board of Education and what they feel is a lot of wasted money in that arena. So tomorrow night, there's going to be a meeting, a budget meeting for the Board of Education. I intend on going. I'm not going to speak. I don't think I'm going to speak. I may speak. But my intention is to go to that meeting tomorrow to listen and just find out some information. I know I have some friends going that are going to make some comments. I may make a comment. I won't rule that out, but I will be going to listen and be present so that the Board of Education and Superintendent Oates are aware that Larry Cox and This Week from Rockdale are paying attention to you. I don't know if that matters or not. Don't know if that matters to you or not, but just want you to know, I think they may already have a hint that they've been on the radar. We've been paying attention. We've been watching. We've been reading, and people have been going and telling us what's going on. I think that, we're going to let them know that they are on the radar by attending the meeting, and that we may be coming up with a plan for 2024, that there may be a coordinated effort between a lot of people in this county to run 5 individuals for those seats as a slate to reset Rockdale. And that's what we need. Rockdale County needs reset. We need new officials across the board in many positions. The Board of Education needs new officials. The Board of Commission needs new officials. We need new officials at a lot of levels in the county. We need department managers that actually live in Rockdale County so that they have skin in the game and the decisions they make impact them as well as others. I mean, we don't need all these folks that live outside the county making decisions for us who live here. It's time that we stood up, fought back, and say enough is enough. People talk about the Board of Education race when they call me. They point blank tell me they don't intend on voting for incumbents, that that one of the candidates has served, he's been there, he's done that. They want to give somebody new a chance and see what somebody new can do. Don't have a problem with that. I'm a term limit guy. Don't have a personal problem with Tony Dowdy. Nice guy, nice enough guy, but just probably not the right guy to be on the board at this time. He's done his time. He served in that capacity for 8 years, which in my opinion is long enough for anybody to serve. If you couldn't get done what you wanted in that time period, then there's no need to come back. Let somebody new take that mantle and run with it. Like let somebody new take that position and see what they can do. With me, it's um, I'm just concerned about the same people being in those positions, just like the same people that sit on a lot of these boards and these committees that the county appoints. We've got a lot of the same people that just sit on these boards and committees that just rubber stamp things for those elected officials. Um, uh, I do want to say that the one of the oversight committees for the fire rescue and stuff, they actually 911, they did approve of $1.5 million to purchase an unneeded 911 center. Like I said, after doing a lot of research on this, initially I was leaning maybe it was a good idea, but I spoke to some people that were on the panel, and then spoke to some other people in the community, and they said we've got a perfectly good facility right now. We've got a training center. This is nothing more than a new department head wanting to build a kingdom. That we don't need these facilities. What we have is sufficient. What we have is fine. So they approved it, but we did have two of the members vote against it. Thank those members for voting against that 1.5 million. Oh, just to let you know, that 1.5 is just the beginning. That just buys the property. That doesn't outfit it or prepare it or get it ready. My estimations, they'll need another $1.5 million to actually do that. So that $1.5 million actually turns out to be $3 million. And this $1.5 million land building purchase has been some of those secret meetings that the Board of Commission goes into executive session about that, with, so we don't need to know about. They go into executive session to discuss spending $1.5 million of our tax dollars that we don't need to know about. It's not your concern, citizens of Rockdale County, that they're going to spend $1.5 million of your money and you don't find out about it till after they approve spending it. That's sort of a little bit reversed, guys. I mean, we should have an indicator that they're going to plan on spending our money before they approve it and already spend it. Backwards, guys. That's working really, really backwards. That's why we need more accountability in this county. And I think everybody knows on here possibly that I'm chairman of the Rockdale County Republican Party. But as far as county officials and county politics goes, would not hurt my feelings if we took the party politics out of county politics and we made a lot of these seats nonpartisan. And that's not to get Republicans elected. That's just to take the politics out of it. Because a lot of times when I say things, people think, well, that's just the Republican perspective. No, it's not. I take a lot of times the perspective of the citizen. I get heat and emails all the time. I mean, just me going against the SPLOST. I've got several emails from party members who are angry with me for going against the SPLOST. Several of them have taken themselves unsubscribed from the email list because of it. I mean, so I explained to them, do the research, look up this item. Don't just believe the rhetoric. Go to the Rockdale Voter, the nonpartisan page, look at the information and make an informed decision. Just don't make an emotional decision. Make an informed, rational decision. Because if we make informed, rational decision, then we look beyond political parties and we look at doing the right thing. Because I believe in county politics, we need to leave the R's and the D's out of it, and we need to do the right thing for community. Because the right thing for our communities, a lot of times, isn't getting us drug into political dogfights. It's doing the right thing for the citizens of Rockdale County. This is about community. That's why I've joined efforts with former Chairman Richard Oden in asking for a forensic audit. The former chairman is collecting a petition right now where he wants to request a forensic audit, not only for the finances, but for the policy. Very unique perspective. He wants to do this audit to take a look at the finances of the county and the policies that the county implements. Are they violating their own policies? And by violating policies, they're violating spending procedures. So and this is the thing about it. Chairman Oden knows where to look. He's done his research. He knows exactly what he wants this audit to look at. So 100%. It's not about political parties. This is about doing the right thing for Rockdale County and community. So I have 100% joined efforts with former Chairman Richard Oden to bring transparency to the citizens of Rockdale County through with this Board of Commission. So that's why I'm asking anyone out there, share the information, and Dan Burks, I know you love putting this information up there, the rockdalevoter.com. Go to the rockdalevoter.com, look up the information about the forensic audit, and go and fill out the petition so that we get that petition. We can send that to former Chairman Oden, and he will have these to do and take to the Board of Commission at some point. And also, just to let you know, on 4th of July, I will be attending the 4th of July celebration. We had a tent last time. We're not going to have a tent this time, but we're going to be there. We're going to have Republican volunteers walking around with clipboards, and those Republican volunteers with clipboards, and we're going to partner with the Rockdale Voter Group, and we're with Chairman Oden, and we're going to ask people to give us live signatures, wet signatures for this petition also, because we want to collect 1,000 or more. I mean, I would love to collect 2,000 or 3,000 signatures, but 1,000 signatures is what I would really love to collect and present to the former chairman from the Rockdale Voter Group in the Republican Party. So what I'm going to do is we're going on the 4th of July. We're going to have clipboards and those petitions, and we're going to get the signatures of citizens of Rockdale County that attend that, because it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to do that, and I think people will do it. And then also the rockdalevoter.com. If you want Sherry Washington to resign, you can go to that same website that Dan Burks has put up, the rockdalevoter.com, and you can go and read about Sherry Washington, and you can go and fill a petition out asking her to resign, and that goes directly to her and the other commissioners and some other county officials asking her to resign. So, guys, I am just excited about what's going on in Rockdale County. I'm excited about what I'm hearing from the voters of Rockdale County. I'm excited about what next Tuesday's election results are going to Rockdale County and what that vote could mean as for a change in the tide of what is going to happen in this county. Remember, vote no for the splost. Do not vote for Doreen Williams. If you're going to participate in the Democrat primary, vote for Efat Walker. Let's get somebody else in there who's going to challenge this Board of Commission to be transparent and do the right things. I believe that Efat Walker is going to do that. She has promised to do that, and I believe that she will do that and keep her word. As far as the Board of Education goes, let's give somebody else a chance. Let's don't just keep electing the same people over and over to these offices. Let's put somebody new in that Board of Board of Education seat. I had my personal preference, and I'll tell you guys who I voted for. I pulled the plug and voted for Tommy Plummer. Tommy Plummer told me that he's listening to the people of Rockdale County. It's very clear that they don't approve of Terry Oates being the chairman, the superintendent of Rockdale County Schools. And if he's elected and it's put to a vote, he will not vote to rehire Terry Oates. So that's what my opinion is about that. Then you've got those ballot questions. Do you believe Rockdale County should have 5 commissioners? I firmly do. Do you believe Rockdale County should elect those commissioners by district? It's the only way to have fair and equal representation. Do you believe that we should build a courthouse at Parker Road for under $40 million? Most definitely we do. If you answer Democratic questions, do you believe we should have a county manager? Without a doubt, we should have a county manager. Do you believe another site other than Old Town should be considered for the courthouse? Most definitely another location should be considered, and that other location is Parker Road. So guys, I just want to tell you guys, I've been on here that 30 minutes that I told you I would come. I went over a few minutes, but I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me that you tune in and you watch this show. So before we go, why don't you guys share this show, like this show, send this out into the internet world. Send it out to Facebook to a lot of different people. Share this show so that this message can reach Rockdale County, because we've seen that the citizen's not on the citizen's side. The citizen, by this fluffy little feel-good SPLOST thing, you know what? If you're going to run this kind of stuff, run both sides. Quit doing this nonsense and being this fluffy little rag. Be a real paper or just go away. I don't even give them any, why even reach out to them when they're not going to actually do both sides or do a fair story? That's not even fair. It's in my opinion, piss poor. That's right. Piss poor journalism. What I said, what I believe. Guys, I'm going to get off here now before I run my mouth and get in more trouble than I'm already in. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in to my Wednesday night week report. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you this coming Sunday for the Sunday edition as we wrap up and talk about this election and this SPLOST and these things facing Rockdale County. But remember, share this show. Like this show. Let's get this word out, because this show and the articles and the news that we do can help this county realize what we face and what we're fighting. Thanks, everybody. See you Sunday. Or I could see you on West Avenue if you come visit me tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Bye.